What's next for Northern Ontario, in your opinion? And I'll start, Charles.
So what's next for Northern Ontario? This government's going to spend a lot of time talking to First Nations, which means infrastructure questions, particularly addressing the issue around, and I know that they're talking about only a certain percentage of the overall infrastructure spend going to public transit. The fact is the vast majority of that infrastructure spend isn't going to have an impact here. And so we need, as northern communities, to be engaged in that conversation early and often, because we have infrastructure needs far beyond the Ring of Fire. Although even the infrastructure that we invest in the Ring of Fire is about those 7 remote communities that would benefit from that. But the fact is, you can take a picture of the Trans-Canada going through any part of the north, and what is that old commercial? This is not your father's Oldsmobile. The Trans-Canada here doesn't look like the Trans-Canada in Southern Ontario. There are infrastructure needs here that mean, on a per capita basis, we need to spend more, and that's a tough sell when the voters aren't here.
Henry?
Well, I mean, I think in terms of getting the Northern Ontario issues on the agenda, that's going to be a challenge because there's so much coming up right away for this new government. Justin's agreed to go to 4 international events: the APEC Summit, the G20 in Turkey, the Commonwealth in Malta, and then off to the Paris climate change stuff. So there's a whole bunch of things happening right away on the international front. Secondly, they've got all of these things that they are going to try to ramp through before December. So the middle class tax cut, that's coming right away. Whoever's the industry minister is going to announce the long form census comes back. So for our perspective, the challenge has been how to get these issues out in front of a new minister. And so when you've got, say, a new minister of natural resources, and they're coming in for the first time, they're fresh, what are the big priorities? We have to get out there first with our agenda. And so the chamber, one of the benefits of the Canadian Chamber is we're the biggest business organization in Canada. And so we could come out and say, look, there's some really great opportunities here. And if you want, as a new natural resources minister, to deliver some changes or an exciting win early on in your career, well, hey, we have some ideas for you. And in fact, just to take an example, there's a great resolution we have on innovation in mining. A lot of people think innovation is just about new apps on your smartphones and things, but innovation in mining and natural resources is spectacular. Look at how innovation changed the oil and gas industry in the States. Fracking transformed global markets and has completely revolutionized the oil industry. The innovation that's been going on in mining is so important for our Northern Ontario, our communities, our mining industry. We don't think commodity prices are coming back anytime soon, so we have to innovate. I mean, the communities and mines in Sudbury are competing with an industry all over the world where wages are a lot lower, where environmental issues are not there. And so we've got this amazing resolution, actually from the Sudbury Chamber, that we passed at the last annual general meeting, saying we want mining innovation on the agenda. We want the federal government to invest in innovation in mining. And so these are the kind of things that we will go and advocate for at the Canadian Chamber to the new minister. And actually, so sometimes people think of the chamber network as there's Canada and the provinces, actually, and then the local chambers. It's flipped around. The local chambers tell us what to do. You've passed, the chamber community has passed this resolution, so now we're accountable to you guys. We have to go and advocate to get some money on mining innovation in Canada. So I think what it is really getting out in front of those ministers early and saying we've got some great ideas to make changes, and we've got things we can work with you so that you show some wins early on. So,
Carl?
So further to that, one of the things the Liberals committed to was $200 million in sector-specific research and innovation. One of the sectors that they spoke about in that context was mining, so we're going to be holding them to account with regard to that. They also mentioned forestry, which will be positive for other areas of Northern Ontario. We are excited about that opportunity with those options. When you look at it, a lot of the commitments that are made by the Liberals are going to be positive. They're going to positively affect this area as they roll out other areas of the country. So reducing the small business tax from 11% to 11 points to 9 points. I mean, a huge number of businesses, of course, throughout Northern Ontario are small businesses, and they will be positively impacted by that. You made points about what will be affecting middle-class families, and that will positively affect the give them more capacity to do more things here in the north. So I think that those types of things will be positive